Well, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome into the show, The Real Monica Adams Show. Hope you're having a great start to your day. A little chilly this morning, and it is foggy. All three of us here, Zach, Gabriel, myself, all had fog on our drive in. So if you're just getting ready to head out of the house, you have to leave for work or take the kids to school, just maybe give yourself a little extra time, especially here on the River Road as I was coming into Fenton, had some thick fog. So it could, of course, cause a problem on your drive this morning. So we want you to be careful. Hope you're having a great start. You definitely want to have a jacket or something. It's a little chilly this morning. We're in the 50s, so the fall weather is definitely taking over. In fact, we're going to talk about 40s, as Beckett mentioned yesterday, for our lows this week. And we'll also talk about the fact that this was one of the warmest Octobers on record. Where does it place? I'll let you know about that coming up in just a second. We've got some news you can use, and we're going to start off right after weather with some news about Dolly Parton. So if you're a Dolly Parton fan, that's in the news today. We'll also talk about how the government shutdown is affecting flights at Lambert Airport and, of course, all across the country. We've got the Blues news since they're kicking off the season tomorrow. And then what's on tap for our National Day of Calendar? We'll mention that coming up in just a few minutes. Let me do a one fell swoop. Happy day Wednesday to each and every one of you. Hope you're having a great start. We'll be looking at comments and any questions you have. And it is a very hot topic. We talk about menopause a lot on this show. Today, Dr. Brooke Kalisiak with Legacy Physical Therapy is my in-studio guest, and we're going to talk about an upcoming webinar that she has with a dear friend of mine, Jennifer McDaniel, the two powerhouses getting together to talk about pelvic health and menopause. So a big day on tap for you today. All right, let's get to it. Weather-wise, as I mentioned, some fog out there this morning, and it's going to be chilly tonight, but not until we have a beautiful day. 74 and sunshine. Oh, I got to say, to me, that's the pick day of the week. 73 tomorrow, so pretty much like Beckett said yesterday, kind of rinse and repeat. You see the Blues emblem. The Blues do kick off the season tomorrow night at home. 76 on Friday. We go into the weekend. By the way, we've got a huge weekend with the Real Monica Adams team. We'll be talking about these mobile Monicas and one of them on Saturday. So I want you to make plans to join us on Saturday at Defiance Ridge Vineyards. It's going to be beautiful. 80 degrees, partly sunny skies. Sunday, we get to 82. And then all next week, we're not seeing any rain in the forecast. 84 on Monday, pretty much the low 80s for the rest of the week until we get to next Friday, and then it is in the upper 70s. But we've got 48 and 47 for lows tonight and tomorrow. Then it starts to warm up again, but some chilly nights are ahead. I don't think anybody's complaining just yet, unless, again, there's all of you that are watching saying, I still want summer. I want to hang on to summer a little bit. Yes, the calendar's switching. We're into October. It's time to talk fall. All right, if you're a Dolly Parton fan, I've got some Dolly Parton news for you this morning. In fact, she will be taking to social media today. She wants to address your concerns after her sister asked the public for prayers. That information came after the country legend's sister asked for the prayers on Tuesday. And this Frida Parton, who is Dolly's sister, she said, quote, last night I was up all night praying for my sister Dolly. Many of you know she hasn't been feeling her best lately. That was in a social media post alongside this picture of Dolly Parton. And she said, I truly believe in the power of prayer. I've been led to ask all of the world that loves her to be prayer warriors and pray with me. She's strong, she's loved, and with all the prayers being lifted for her, I know in my heart she's going to be just fine. Godspeed, my sissy Dolly. We all love you. Obviously, that sent ripple effect all across social media of people saying, well, what the heck's going on? It prompted many users to comment their prayers and their concerns for the 10-time Grammy-winning artist. It is not clear at this point, folks, what health issue Dolly is currently battling, but the post comes a little over a week after Dolly herself postponed her upcoming Las Vegas residency. She moved the shows from December of this year to September of 2026. The shows would have overlapped with the National Finals Rodeo, which takes place in Vegas from December 4th through the 13th. She said, I want the fans and the public to hear directly from me that unfortunately I will need to postpone my upcoming concerts. That was her post back on September 28th. So I can guarantee you, you're going to hear a lot about this. Again, if you do flip on the news, all on social media, people wondering what is going on with Dolly Parton. So I'm very interested. She is just absolutely one of my favorites. And all of us here on the Real Monica Adams team wishing Dolly the best, the queen of country music. We'll, of course, let you know if anything comes out later today. I'll be posting on my own social media pages as a follow-up, and we'll talk about it tomorrow as well. Okay, we've been talking about the government shutdown. In fact, Gabriel just said, is it still shut down? Yes, there's some whispers going on of some things that hopefully can get that to wrap up. But for right now, it is affecting you at the airport. So we're talking about Lambert Airport as well as all across the country. But our own travelers here are feeling the ripple effect. The FAA says reduced staffing, slowing operations at multiple towers across the country, and in some cases, closing them all together. So I highly recommend, if you have a flight, that you contact your carrier. Do not call the airport, but contact your carrier, because it is affecting airports all across the country. At St. Louis Lambert International Airport, the scene was somewhat calm on Tuesday, but not without concern. So just know that. I can tell you, obviously just getting back to Cabo, we didn't run into any problems, even though we were in the middle of the shutdown already. But you may, again, want to check with your carrier. Okay, some changes to the DUI policy in St. Louis County. It will become a no refusal county. So what does that mean? It means prosecutors will seek a judicial warrant for anyone suspected of driving under the influence who refuses a breath or blood test. The warrant would allow testing without consent. So previously, the policy only applied to cases where felony charges could be pressed or if there was an incident. It now applies to all DUI cases. Well, get ready for this, as a lot of you are already doing your shopping for Christmas. I know we haven't even reached Halloween yet, but a lot of people start to do the Christmas shopping, October, November, to be ahead of the game. For your packages you will be shipping out, you're going to be paying a little bit more. The United States Postal Service is raising prices for this holiday season. Starting this week, they're boosting their prices. These adjustments, they say, are needed to help deal with the extra handling expenses that come during the busier than usual time of year. So the holiday pricing will expire January 18th. So Priority Mail and your United States Postal Service Ground Advantage, it's 40 cent increase for zones 1 through 4 from 0 to 3 pounds, and then it goes to 60 cent increase for a 4 to 10 pound package, 95 cent increase for 11 to 25 pounds. And if you're going to ship something 26 to 70 pounds, it's going to be $3 extra. That's in zones 1 to 4. It's even going to be a little higher if you're zone 5 through 9. And then they've got flat rates, ground advantage zones. In fact, what I'm going to do for you here is drop into the comments what you can expect to see, and then maybe take out a second job to have to pay for some of this, because these rates do go up pretty high depending on some of the zones. All right, we talk a lot about recalls. Now, Toyota drivers, heads up. You should be getting something in the mail if you haven't already. 400,000 Tundras and Sequoias are being recalled due to a malfunctioning rear view camera. Owner notification letters are expected to be mailed November 16th. You can contact Toyota's customer service. I'll bring you a comment about this, a link about this in the comment section, so you have the 800 number as well. The numbers for the recall are 25TB10 and 25TA10. Owners included in the recall are 22 to 25 Toyota Tundras and Tundra hybrids, and then the 23-25 Sequoia hybrids. The number of automobiles, again, almost 400,000, with the non-hybrid Tundra making up more than half of them. Again, when you're backing up, the rear view camera may not display, which of course will increase the risk of a crash, and we want you all to be safe. So here is the phone number that you need, just dropping it into the comments for all of you that might drive those. All right, St. Louis Blues fans, are you ready? Tomorrow night, we are kicking off the season at home, and there's an opportunity for you to maybe sit in some really posh seats. The Blues announcing premium seating options for the 25-26 season. It's named The Loft. It's in the sky level. It blends the energy of a sports bar with the thrill of live hockey. Fans have premium seating options now as they get ready for Thursday night against the Minnesota Wild. The space, you get your own personal TV screen at all those 80 seats. It has access to 31 sports channels where you can check scores from all over the place. fantasy stats, follow other games. Come on, can't we just focus on the game right in front of us? There are also 14 additional TVs all throughout the area. But again, they're getting bougie. So tomorrow night, it's the Wild and the Blues at 7 p.m. And then the Blues hit the road on Saturday against Calgary. That game will be Saturday at 3 p.m. All right, what's on tap for our National Day of Calendar? We got a handful of things for you again today. We're going to start off with American Touch Tag Day, National Fluffer Nutter Day. Have you ever had one of those? National Pierogi Day. We got a couple things to eat today. National Hero Day. Boy, that comes in so many forms, doesn't it? National Curves Day. National Take Your Parents to Lunch Day. Oh, I like that. I'll have to get a hold of my mom. National Bring Your Teddy Bear to Work or to School today. There you go. You're all up to date, and I hope you're all having a great start to your day. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to visit with Dr. Brooke Kalisiak with Legacy Physical Therapy. Today, we're talking about pelvic health and menopause, which, by the way, menopause all over every social media channel. In fact, yesterday I saw a firefighter with his jacket open. Of course, they were talking about the flames, the hot firefighters. He was breaking down and diagnosing menopause. And I'm like, everyone is jumping on board the menopause bandwagon. But let's leave it to the experts. In fact, there's a big webinar coming up between Dr. Brooke Kalisiak and Jennifer McDaniel, an incredible nutritionist. We'll talk about that and how you can get involved coming up.
When you want to feel good, you work out at Crunch. You don't go here, because here feels bad. But here, we help you feel good, feel strong, feel rejuvenated.
Join Crunch Fitness today.
Thankful to Monica for having me on the show here today. I just love having the opportunity to try and help other people. There are a lot of people in my life that were there for me in my time of need, and that was important for me today to talk to Monica about that. You know, you can get low and then work yourself back up to where you want to be, and people around you can help you do that. Surround yourself with the right people. That's what Monica tries to do here with this show. In fact, I know that's what she wants to do, is she wants people that are like-minded to help each other, to point each other in the right direction, to lift each other up, not put each other down. It was amazing for me to sit in here and talk with Monica, and hopefully it helps somebody along the way. I know that every show that she puts on is fantastic. It's worth your while to be tuning in every single day. Don't worry about some of the negativity around the world, whether it's on TV and this, that, the other. Tune in here to Monica and let her tell her story as well as her guest story. There's always something that you can get from somebody else. And if you pick up just one little thing that helps you, that makes this a success. And that is why I'm here with Monica today.
Well, welcome back, folks. So glad to have you with us. We're in studio on a Wednesday, the Real Monica Adams Show. And again, hello to all of you. Hope you're having a great start to your day on whatever platform you're on. Again, remember to tell all of your friends that don't want to be on social media. They can watch us on YouTube. They can watch us on LinkedIn. They can watch us on Rumble. There are multiple platforms for you. So we get it. If you don't want to be on Facebook or you don't want to be on Instagram, X, etc. Is there a platform, by the way, that we're not on that you would like for us to be on? If so, email me at info@therealmonicaadams.com. Hey, I just want to give a shout out to John O'Leary. I am so sad that I missed the big premiere at Powell Hall, but we were in Cabo, right? You were having a great time. We were having a great time. When I walked in this morning, there was a box right up against my door that said Soul on Fire. I can't wait for this. Do you have your tickets yet? John, thank you. I will be wearing this hat proudly. This was an awesome media kit. I've actually read this book, so now it's all about paying it forward. Have you read the book? Because the movie is based on a true story about the life of John O'Leary. I was told to bring Kleenexes. I would imagine. But it's going to light us all up. It's going to bring our souls on fire. The 7 choices to ignite a radically inspired life. Again, number 1, national bestseller. If you don't have the book is available. In this, I can't wait to use this. This is an intention card deck. And then super, super cool, these little Post-it notes. We all are looking for notes, right? And looking for a pen somewhere, scribbling something down. But this has a little inspiration right before you're writing whatever your note is for the day. This one says, Lord, help me trust in you and let go of my fear about ... Yep, add to that. This one, Lord, thank you for blessing me with the courage to show unconditional love to Dr. Brooke Kalisiak, right? This one's to her today. I'm going to give it to her. So anyway, thank you so much, John and the team. I can't wait to see it. Officially out in theaters on Friday, but we did look, just like a lot of times, that comes out on Friday, but then there's Thursday night. And people are like, wait, how are you going Thursday? Go ahead, look. There are tickets available. Thursday, 4 o'clock. We're going to be down in the Chesterfield Valley, and hopefully I'll see you. So, Soul on Fire. Super, super excited for St. Louis to be featured. All right, I just mentioned Dr. Brooke. Dr. Brooke Kalisiak, are you going to see Soul on Fire?
Oh, definitely.
I cannot wait for this. I can't believe it's finally here because it felt like it was like years away, and now here we are. It's going to be fun. All right, if you have not seen my guest, Dr. Brooke Kalisiak, Legacy Physical Therapy President. Now, they have 2 locations, Valley Park as well as St. Peter's, as you can see here. LegacyTherapySTL.com is the website that you can go to. And then if you want to follow them on social, I highly recommend you do so at Legacy Physical Therapy STL. How have you been since I've seen you last?
Been doing great.
Yes?
Yeah.
Good. You look great. She's glowing. Menopause isn't hurting you.
No, doing all right.
Well, we're going to talk about a lot of things today, but I want to start at the beginning for those of you that might have to jump off. Be sure to come back to these shows. That's the beauty of streaming if you have to rush off. But I want to tell you from the beginning, and then we'll do it at the end as well. You have a webinar coming up with a dear friend of mine. I'm excited for this. You and Jennifer McDaniel are teaming up. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yep, we have a webinar on October 17th at October 16th at 7 p.m. Thursday, and it's called Menopause Strong. And Jen McDaniel and I have partnered together a couple times just to really get good evidence-based information out there about menopause. Because as you said earlier in the show, everyone's talking about it. It's
even
everywhere.
The dogs.
And it's like, everyone doesn't have great evidence-based information about it. So we really dive deep into like nutritional concerns of it, as well as pelvic health concerns, and really let people know about information, actionable items that they can take away from it and start making changes for their life.
Absolutely. And it is true. And that's why I said leave it to the experts, because there's a lot out there on social media. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of, I just want you to click on this so I can get more followers. But yeah, I laughed yesterday when I was like, okay, now it's a firefighter with his jacket open so you can see his ripped abs. And then he's like pointing to different diagrams. This is what's happening. Are you getting hot? And then somebody was using their dog, and I'm like, oh, come on. Can we just leave it to the experts? Which, again, they will do. So this is a free webinar?
Free webinar. You just need to sign up. You could go to our website, to the Legacy Therapy STL /events. It'll have it listed there, and you just sign up so that you get the Zoom code to join us on the webinar. So,
and then, or will they be able to interact with you? Or
yes,
are they
there'll be time for question and answer and interacting with us. And if you're like, oh, that sounds awesome, but I can't make it live, sign up anyways. We will send it out to you
send
afterwards
the link out to them.
so they can watch it later. So
what are you most excited about that webinar? Because again, to put that together, I'm sure you and Jen have sat down saying, this is what I hear on my side. This is what I hear on my side.
Really excited to give people just kind of easy, like actionable tips that they can like take home that night and start implementing, versus feeling like a lot of times people attend educational events and they're great, but they're like this plethora of overwhelm of information. It's like, what do I do with this? And Jen and I really designed it to be very like actionable of, okay, cool, I can make this change and this will help, and I can make that change. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most with it.
I absolutely agree with you, because it is. I mean, you sit down and you're absorbing all this information, and then you go away thinking, oh, I learned a lot. Okay, but wait, where do I even start? Where do I go with this?
Yeah.
And because again, one of the things that Dr. Brooke Kalisiak and others that have been on our show are all about is getting you to understand that there's a better life for you. That if you are feeling miserable right now, don't stay in that space.
Correct. That almost always there's something that you can do to make a change in the right direction, or at least point you in the right direction to find the help that you need to help make that change.
Well, and I love that there's a webinar because they're going to see that there are multiple women and hopefully even some men on there that can help out the ladies in their lives that can say, oh, I'm not alone in this. You're absolutely not. I mean, we can't stress that enough. Correct. Every one of us is either already dealing with these symptoms or it's to come, and we want to learn what is possibly coming for us.
Correct. Yes. And I think that's the biggest thing is like, wait a minute. Other women are asking questions that I know I wanted to ask, but I didn't feel like I could ask. And then like they asked that question. It's like, okay, I am not alone. I am part of a community of people that's also experiencing this, and we can experience it together and improve together.
Yep. Never sit there alone at all. How long is the webinar?
The webinar itself is about an hour long with a little bit of time for question and answer at the end.
All right, folks. So again, we'll talk about that again at the end, but pass this along. Well, we always ask you to share the shows anyway. Share this with your family and friends because it's there for you. Why not take advantage of it? If you can't, as she said, if you can't continue with it live, they will provide a link for you. And then you start to do those action steps. I think it's a lot like when we do personal training or we're doing nutrition aspect. People want to just all of a sudden go from being miserable to, I want to be at this space and I want to jump there already. And they just want to think, well, why isn't it happening so quick? You have, as you mentioned, you have to take steps to get to where, okay, this is causing a problem. You can't just throw it all at one and then try to figure out, well, what was the problem? And we're all of our body chemistry is different.
Very much so. And a lot of people, especially with pelvic health issues of menopause, for a lot of women, they don't even realize that the problem may have started back in their 20s or 30s, but their body was really good at compensating for it. But now we're in our 50s and 60s and menopausal and having issues. And they're like, but it just started now. So shouldn't I just be able to just fix one thing and like it'll be back to normal? It's like, yeah, we're dealing with kind of some decades worth of dysfunction that your body's covered up. And so it can take a little bit sometimes to peel it away.
So they're in their minds, they're thinking it just started. They have no idea that it's been there.
Correct. Yeah, that's pretty common.
Again, if you're just tuning in, by the way, and you have not seen my guest yet, she's been on a couple times with us. Dr. Brooke Kalisiak, again, fell in love immediately when I realized what she is doing for women. And the fact that she's been doing it for 17 years now. Yeah. So I had a lot of people reach out to me after our last show, which I loved. And they were like, it was interesting. It was private messages. And I also, who you're teaming up with, I really appreciate. I've known Jennifer McDaniel from my days at Fox 2. She's incredible in the nutrition, dietitian world. But I thought I loved her vulnerability when I saw her post. And she's like, okay, I am excited about getting my life back. She's a big runner. She wants to run again and not feel like, oh my gosh, I'm peeing all over myself, right? But she's being very raw about this because she's been dealing with her own issues. And so she's putting that out there. I think the more and more we do that, the better it is. It's a lot of things in life right now, right? It's just, even we keep saying that during the pandemic, it's almost like everybody had this opening to say, I'm just going to start talking about all the things I've been going through. I'm just going to throw it all out there.
I think it helps people to, one, identify with you, but two, just to know, again, that they're not alone, that other people are experiencing these things, and you don't have to not talk about it. You don't have to keep it in the shadows. It's okay to talk about it.
And that is the biggest thing that we can keep stressing is these things that used to be considered taboo. Again, we're just helping each other. You're paying it forward by saying, all right, I'm dealing with this. Okay, let's start talking about this. And that's what we're doing. So with you, and we mentioned before, don't just think from women. And I look at a lot of the pictures and the videos that you have on your website. It's men, women alike. The people who reached out to me privately had said the same thing. Tell Dr. Kalisiak, thank you so much. I can't wait to get in to see her because I had no idea that at my age, something could switch, that I could shift. And that was for men and women both. They thought, well, I'm just going to have to deal with this, which we addressed last time you were in. They figured, I'm in my 60s, I'm in my 70s, I'm in my 80s. There's no way I can reverse this.
And that's simply not true. Yes, it is more common as we get older that you'll potentially have pelvic health issues like leakage or pressure or heaviness. but it's not normal, and there are things that you can do. And I think I talked about it last time I was here. Our oldest client is a 93-year-old woman, and we got her back to being leak-free. So it's never too late to make a change on your body.
And what does that do for you? Because again, to understand that someone has been going through life for however long, I mean, again, you have this woman at 93 that just figures, I'm old, this is my life.
Yeah.
What does it mean for you to all of a sudden have them feel like they have a whole new lease on life?
It's a wonderful feeling, and it's why I do what I do, is just to share those moments with patients and realize that you're getting them back to living a life that they want to live and not feeling like they're relying on diapers or they can't go out with friends because they're worried about what if I can't find a bathroom or that. And like they're just getting back to enjoying their life and whatever that looks like to that person. And it's really rewarding to be on that journey with them.
Absolutely. You know, that's a really good point. I know people who won't even travel anymore because they're like, oh, my husband has to be near a bathroom or my wife has to do this. And I'm like, well, it'll be okay. No, this is what's going on. Right? So suddenly it's your life. You feel like your life is back and maybe you start to do things you haven't done in a long time. Again, Dr. Brooke Kalisiak. So Legacy Physical Therapy, I just mentioned, if you don't want to comment because you feel embarrassed, you can call her, set up an appointment. There's 2 locations, Valley Park and St. Peter's. So pick the one that makes most sense for you. LegacyTherapySTL.com is the website for you to go to. Okay, let's talk about some pelvic myths of menopause. Bladder leaks, dryness, pain, just a part of aging.
Nope, definitely not.
She's like, nope.
Now, when women hit menopause and our estrogen levels decline, those are common symptoms that can start to show up because of the tissue changes that happen without the estrogen present. But there are exercises and activity changes, things that women can do to make sure that they're in a good place so that those symptoms don't happen. Or if they do start to experience them, there are things they can do to help get over those symptoms and that. So just because you're experiencing them, like I said, it's never too late.
Right.
You can make changes with it.
And so, again, I think it's interesting that you just said that there are some people who believe that it's just starting. How would they have known that this has been going on for decades?
Ideally, it's we would see someone early on, especially if they've had children, and that to see, I'd love to see it be the case across the nation that a woman goes and sees a pelvic physical therapist after they've had a kiddo, just whether or not they're having issues or not, just to get screened and make sure everything's going well so that they're set up well for the future and they're not developing any compensations or bad holding patterns or just kind of using things the wrong way, using muscles the wrong way.
Well, think about what you're going through, ladies, in childbirth. And she's so correct because we did mention this last time, but, you know, again, it's a good thing to mention again in case you missed it. You think about any other major surgeries that you're going through, and then right after, you're going to physical therapy for that, to get your range of motion back, to get, to break down the, scar tissue that you may have, the pain that you have. You are going to a physical therapist. Why would an OBGYN not team up with physical therapy and say, okay, let's do this?
And I think part of the reason why it's not as mainstream with it is that, unfortunately, there's this kind of misnomer that all they're going to do is teach you Kegel exercises. And a Kegel exercise is a contraction of the pelvic floor, but it's so much more. It's about how these muscles partner together with your abdominals, with your breathing and your diaphragm, with how your posture affects things, how everything works together. And that's what a full pelvic physical therapy assessment should look like, is looking at all of that. And if you are just being taught Kegel exercises, just doing contractions, that might work for a small percentage of women, but for the vast majority of people, they're going to need more than that. And so if an OBGYN has had that experience of like, oh, they just teach you Kegels, they're like, here's a sheet of paper. Here, I'll show you how to do Kegels, and that's it. And so unfortunately, I think our field has kind of gotten that kind of mislabeling of that's all we do. And it's really so much more than that.
It's about educating the medical field also, everyone as a whole. Because again, I mean, we look at the change of medicine in the last decade or 2 decades. I'm trying to think in the 3 decades that I've been in the business, what I've seen evolve. So you have to have hope that it is coming. And it really, a lot of it is just to keep, the conversation going out there, talking and then saying, how do we make this happen? I think some people did ask in the past, okay, if I do want to go, is this covered by insurance? We'll address that again.
Yeah. So if you have physical therapy benefits through your insurance plan, pelvic physical therapy is not separate from that. It's the same type of benefits. You just have to check, what are my physical therapy benefits? And it falls under that category.
Yeah. Again, take advantage of this. I just think it's so eye-opening that this has existed. And I didn't know. 17 years she's been doing this right here in our area. So let her and her team help you, by the way. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're talking about some pelvic myths of menopause. Again, just because something is common doesn't mean it's normal, right? We're going to get into the aspect of you all thinking that Kegels is the only answer. So if that has been you, we're going to go a little bit deeper into, no, there are many things that they can do. And if you have any questions, by the way, feel free to drop them in right now. I'll look at the comments for you. This is your platform, so feel free to ask questions and don't be embarrassed to ask a question. Somebody else is hoping that you'll ask it.
Yes.
More with Dr. Brooke Kalisiak when we return. Welcome to the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant. There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thinking.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. Here in St. Louis, you put us on the map. Does it scare you? You go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
We are going to be super busy this weekend. It all starts with a live show on Friday. Hopefully you had a chance to see Connie Bourgeois in with us. Connie is the president, the owner of Conjetta Designs, and what she can do for brands is amazing. So this Friday at noon, we're actually going to go to Conjetta. They're located in Lafayette Square. We're going to sit down. We're going to showcase. Yes, of course, you know I love my fashion, so she's involved in the fashion industry, but it's well beyond that. It is everything that you can think that you need for branding, for merchandising, etc. We're going to sit down with her at noon, a live show, so be sure to tune in. We've got a handful of things for you on tap on Friday. A Foodie Friday, where we'll feature Matt's Food Story and Bistro La Florazon, which is in Clayton. That'll be our Foodie Friday. We'll also have Dot Fleshman, real estate extraordinaire, and the show at Conjetta. So a very busy Friday on tap for us. We hope you can join us either in person. Maybe you want to stop in Lafayette Square and pop in your head, or just watch the show that day. All right, welcome back. Again, the Real Monica Adams Show. Some good comments and questions coming in. Please feel free, if you're live with us, and you can stay with us, to ask any questions or comments, or if you watch later, do a little hashtag replay. Dr. Brooke Kalisiak, again, with Legacy Physical Therapy. So, Dr. Brooke, somebody said that, which, again, she's very funny of how she talks. She said, I tried Kegel exercises, this is Rose, at my age, but the gates are too rusty to hold back the stream. So what would you say to her?
That can be the case. that sometimes there can be a plethora of issues that can contribute to that. So sometimes those muscles really do get quite weakened over time. And so just starting out doing Kegels and trying to strengthen them, it might take a bit to kind of get them heading back in the right direction. But there also might be other issues layered on top of that, as far as are you finding those muscles correctly and using them well? There's been research studies that have shown that 40% of women who have been just told how to do Kegel exercises still do them incorrectly. So even if you've been told to do the exercise and you think you're helping yourself out with your pelvic health, you're doing the exercise wrong.
Well, yeah, I think that's a good point, because a lot of people are like, oh, okay, Kegel, I just stop the stream of urine. That's what I have to do. That's what I've been told to do. Or they Google something and think they can fix it that way. You are very personalized, saying, no, this is what you need to be doing, and then you're helping and guide along.
Yeah, and to try and get the same effect out of many different patients, we might be using many different cues. So we want all of them to potentially get a good strong contraction of the muscle, but myself or my 4 other therapists, depending on the person in front of us, we might be cueing it 5 different ways to try and get that person to connect in with it. So just being told about something but not being fully evaluated for how you do it yourself puts people in a situation where they're like, I don't know, am I doing this correctly? Am I not?
Yep, you are absolutely correct. I will tell you, as a from a physical therapist to a personal trainer, we can say things 10 times, and you're like, boy, I really have been saying that, but oh my gosh, I had to say it this way. I had to guide you this way for you to get that aha moment.
And we even see it a lot of times on, we always are giving out homework to people of things that they should be doing at home. And one of the things we do at their next appointment is check how their homework's going. And I have everyone show me what they're doing, because a lot of times they'll be like, oh yeah, it's going great. Yeah. And it's like, okay, cool, we're going to do it now. And maybe you're not surprised at the amount of people who come back doing a different version of the exercise that I gave them just a week ago. And they're like, oh, that's what I thought you wanted me to do. And it's like, nope, this is a new version, and we're going to try tweaking that just a little bit. And so even when we are shown and told, what is the research shows that we only really take in 7% of what we hear at any given time. So it's like, okay,
that's because why? Because we can't calm this down, right? Right? Seriously, it's so chaotic that you're absorbing just a little bit of information, and then you walk away, and you're like, I just walked down the hall. Well, and with aging, right? For women, it's the menopause. I completely forgot where am I?
What am I doing here now?
So, Rose, I think it's a good point, because you have commented a handful of times. I think that you are like many of us, where you think you just have to live that way, right? You just felt, oh, well, I'm just going to have this stream coming out, and maybe you're embarrassed by it, or you just think this is your life. But I don't want you to have to live that way. So I really would love for you to reach out and say, hey, what can Dr. Brooke do for me? Char, yes. She said, did you say there was going to be a web hour seminar? Yes, there's a webinar, and it's about an hour. And then there's going to be some Q&A afterwards. So there, Zach, thank you so much. There it is on the screen. Char, I would love for you to join that, as well as everyone else. Take advantage of it. It's free, and it's an opportunity for you to speak with the 2 wonderful representatives for you, the true standouts. As we said, we want you to leave it to the experts. So the 2 experts we're talking about for this particular one is Dr. Brooke Kalisiak and Jennifer McDaniel. So please do that. Is there an exercise in the pool I can do? Stephanie's asking.
Oh, that's a loaded question. It depends on what you're doing in the pool, but yes, you can exercise for your pelvic floor in the pool. Really, what I would try and think about is incorporating it with, like if you're doing water walking or that, like incorporating it with your breathing while you're walking. So as you take a nice big inhale, we let everything relax. And as you exhale, you think about trying to do a little contraction, and you just do that as you're walking laps in the pool. So that's without knowing specifics of what we're really looking for. That's a way to kind of integrate your diaphragm, your abdominals, and your pelvic floor all together while you're doing an activity in the water.
Okay. Again, feel free. These are great questions, great comments that are coming in. And of course, Gabriel, always with his punny jokes, he said doing the exercises correctly is key. Goal.
Nice.
But okay, so Kegels, again, not the only answer.
Correct. So we're talking a lot about doing a contraction of the pelvic floor muscles, but there's a good portion of the population who already is holding those muscles tight and tense all the time. And so trying to contract them more or squeeze more is actually going to be more problematic for them. And so they need to learn how to relax and let go of those muscles first so that they can move well.
Interesting. Because in many people's minds, it's, I got to strengthen this.
And so that's where a lot of people are like, oh, Kegels don't work.
Yeah.
I was like, well, yes and no. You weren't at a great place where what your muscles needed that. They needed to learn to relax first. And then you might be doing Kegel exercises to try and strengthen them. But if we don't know what your muscles are doing first, we don't know where to start from.
That goes back to us saying earlier how different all of our bodies are. So for somebody, yes, it might need they need to be strengthened, but you're saying others might need relaxation, coordination, and retraining.
Yeah.
So, see? Again, if you thought it was just one-stop shop,
Yeah.
let's do Kegels and it doesn't work, and then I'm just going to have to live this way. It's not the case. Again, just do Kegels is outdated.
Very.
And that's why you might see something on social media that's just a quick little 30-second story or reel that's just trying to get you to click on it, and you think, oh, well, that's the information that's out there. Yeah, but who's the source? That's key for you. Again, we're running through some pelvic myths of menopause. All right, number 3, how does menopause affect intimacy, and what can women do about it?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that change when we lose that estrogen content. So the tissues become pretty dry down there, and unfortunately for a lot of women, that means that being intimate with their partner can start to become painful. And
I love being raw and real, and it happened to me, and it is miserable. And here's the other thing, and we've talked about this in the past, Dr. Kalisiak. And as you know, you're in a one-on-one with these people, so it's a very intimate setting where hopefully you become to where you trust her and you start talking. Please do, by the way, because it's the mental strife that you're going through, the physical, all of spiritual, soulful, all of it together. But yes, depending on your partner, my partner was obviously fantastic. Jim was very much of, we don't have to do anything. I'm so sorry. Right. But other guys or women, they might be like, what's wrong? Or or why don't you want to be with me? Or are you cheating on me? Right. Who knows what it leads to? You just have to be honest and say, this is painful. And then of course it becomes, I would think that this is where you should be going to the doctor together to say, well, what can be done? And let your partner understand what you're going through.
Very much so. And that because there are so many things that can help you get back to being intimate with your partner in a very comfortable way, and that might involve topical estrogen for the vagina, just to help fluff up those tissues and make things not as raw. It might involve using different types of vaginal moisturizers or incorporating lubrication into your time frame. A lot of women have a kind of a negative stigma of like, oh, I've never had to use lube. Like I'm always excited for my partner. Excitement and love for your partner does not equate to wetness. And so lube is your friend. And I joke about it with my patients because I want them to feel comfortable about it. And we have samples at our clinic. We're like, here's some different lubricants. Like, try them, see which ones you like. And that there's a difference between lubricant and moisturizer. So lubricant is something that is there to decrease friction, and it's used in the moment of acts of intimacy. You don't want it to absorb in the tissue. You want it to be nice and slippery so that there's less friction. Moisturizer, just like you think about putting moisturizer on your face, you want that to absorb into the tissue. And so some women kind of wrongfully like put those two things together and think like if they put lubricant down there that'll help moisturize the tissue, and it's not the case. But there are many different wonderful vulvar and vaginal moisturizers that are out there now that can be used in addition to potentially being on topical estrogen, or in like doing that instead of, if you're not in a situation where topical estrogen is an appropriate choice for you.
And that's very key, because again, for me, it was my OBGYN right away doing just that, saying, here you go, here's some lube. And I was like, well, isn't that just temporary? Like, I want to figure out what's going on. For me, it was then digging deeper, and then I went into the route of bioidentical hormones, and my whole life changed back to the way so I don't want any of you to sit there and think this is just the way life is going to be. I was warned that this was possibly coming, and then it did. I'm happy for that it was, hey, Monica, this is a possibility. But as soon as you know, and that's the thing, you would want to tell your doctor, okay, hey, these things are happening, then she'll right away come back to you and go, oh, okay, well, let's start addressing this. And let's not wait 5-10 years of you being miserable.
And that is the response that we hope for. But I have heard from too many patients that when they actually are brave enough to bring up these symptoms with many of their doctors, they're ignored. Or it's told that's just a part of aging. Like you're just getting older, or, you know, there's nothing you can really do about it. And they're just written off by it.
Switch doctors.
Yeah, pretty much so. There are wonderful doctors out there. So if you are experiencing something in your body and you're not getting answers for it, and your doctor's writing you off, then it's time to switch doctors.
It absolutely.
And find
How many
someone
times have we said, be your own advocate? You have a choice. They know that, by the way, and I would hope that it would make them raise up to say, I need to listen better. Again, it's a constant education of, well, what we used to say, maybe it is not true. We need to listen to our patients better.
It's really, and it is challenging not to go too much into what, especially as it relates to hormone replacement therapy. But there was an entire generation of doctors and an entire generation of patients who were taught that those are bad,
That it would cause
they're
cancer?
too dangerous,
Yep.
they're cancer causing, we can't prescribe them, you shouldn't use them.
Yep.
And so it was both patients and doctors. So there's a generation of doctors who was never taught how to prescribe these medications, what to do with them. So if you are a menopausal woman who wants to explore this route and you're having trouble with your own provider and you're trying to figure out, well, how do I know it's gonna take me 3 months to get into another doctor, and how do I know who I should spend my time trying to go see? There's the American Menopause Society. Their website has a listing of who's members, and you can't just be a member. You have to show that you have understanding of menopausal medicine, and so that's a great place to start to find someone locally who knows about menopause and can help guide you through it.
I wish I knew exactly what show. It's been about a year, but we went deep into why there were so many physicians at that time and what the study was and why so much of the media jumped on right away saying, oh, hormone replacement therapy causes cancer.
Because that's a great soundbite.
Amen. You're right. But now there's so much research. So if you're still in that mindset, I would ask you to dig deep. And again, I wish I knew exactly which show for Gabriel to drop in, but it's been over a year. We've actually touched on it a couple times, and it was really eye-opening, I think, for a lot of you. If you're just tuning in, again, Dr. Brooke Kalisiak, isn't she brilliant? We love having her on the show. Legacy Physical Therapy. She's there for you. Please do not let the days, weeks, months, years go by of you thinking that you just have to live with the way that you're living. Again, there's the information for you to call her. Couple of locations for you. Again, find the one that makes the most sense. We're running through these myths. I'm going to take another break. When we come back, is it too late to improve pelvic health once you're in menopause? And we'll also talk about how does pelvic physical therapy fit into menopause wellness. Those two on tap, and any comments or questions that you have. Don't sit silent, folks. More with Dr. Kalisiak when we return.
I was just on the Real Monica Adams show, and it was really a good experience for me. When I walked in, the building is just peaceful. The environment is beautiful here. Monica really made me feel welcome.
The Monica Adams show allows people to be themselves. It's really important to share kindness, to be real, to offer stories and things that will give people hope and a reason to smile.
Rather than waking up aggravated, disappointed, and wondering, where's this earth going, choose to wake up with something that'll put your mind and your heart in the right direction. Start with Monica.
And we are excited. We just told you we've got a really busy weekend. So we start on Friday with the live show. Then Saturday, now you know that we do this every other Wednesday at Defiance Ridge Vineyards, our Wet Your Whistle. But a lot of you can't join us at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. On a Wednesday, you're still working. I get it. However, Saturdays, especially in October, people love to go to wineries. So I would love to see you on Saturday, 11 a.m. Why is this one going to be special? If you've ever really wanted to know who the real Monica Adams is, you want to come to this because there's about 40 people that knew me as a little girl. There's a kind of impromptu reunion that's going to take place from all of us that graduated grade school in 1985 from Sacred Heart in Florissant. A ton of them are going to be there. So you want to ask them who Monica was? That's the day to come on out. We're going to do a broadcast from 11 to noon. We're going to showcase their incredible food. We're going to showcase their amazing award-winning wines. And then there's going to be music starting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Defiance Ridge, if you've ever wanted to go, I'd say this is the day. It's going to be 80 degrees and absolutely beautiful. So come on out on 94. It's the first winery that you come across as you're coming down from the O'Fallon area. So 40 to 94, go on down, and then you'll come to Defiance Ridge. We'd love to see you. Live broadcast broadcast. You're going to meet Zach. You're going to meet Gabriel. We'll all be there for you. My husband will be there. Who knows? We want everyone. We want to pack the place. About 700 to 800 people, by the way, can fit at Defiance Ridge on the inside and outside. So come on, let's pack it and let's support Chuck Gillentine. That's this Saturday at 11 a.m. All right, folks, welcome back. Again, great comments and questions coming in, mixed in with what we have on tap for you today. Dr. Brooke Kalisiak is talking about pelvic myths of menopause. Before we get back to number 4 and 5, we're going to go to Stephanie. She said, thank you. I do healthy joints class and core work. I'm going to try your advice in the pool. You bet. Doctor, you seem very caring and patient. My favorite kind of instructor and doctor, something soothing about you. I'm going to check you out. Yes, please, Rose. And Rose also said, because she said she loves to talk, she said, I've never sat silent. Again, she is here for you. So please, Julia says hi. So yes, please know that she's there for you, whether it is you going in right away, you come to the webinar that they have on tap. We'll talk about the webinar one more time at the end of the show. So stay tuned for that. And be sure to share this, again, with your family and friends. That's what happened last time that she was in. There were a lot of people, even family members of mine, that said, whoa, what was this? Because I've been dealing with this my whole life. And I said, yes, it's never too late. That's the thing that we were stressing, which is number 4, by the way. Is it too late to improve pelvic health once you're in menopause?
No, our body is designed to make improvements to it throughout our lifetime. We are not just in a steady state of decline. We can do something. Like, I watched a video the other day of a woman who decided to start doing strength training in her 70s and is now competing as a
bodybuilder.
As a bodybuilder.
I love it.
And it's like, that's awesome.
Yes.
And so it's never too late. What you want and what you need is someone to meet you where you're at.
Yes.
And help you improve from there.
Correct.
You know, that's where we partner together and individualize it to where you're at. So if you're in your 70s, is your program going to look the same as me working with a young mom in her 20s?
Right.
No,
Right.
probably not. But that doesn't mean that you can't get symptom free.
Yeah. You customize it.
Yeah,
for
it's
each
customized
individual.
to the person.
So again, someone just said olive oil. We were talking about lube earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of them using olive oil?
Olive oil can definitely be used as a lubricant. It can actually, it's one of those few things that can kind of be a little bit of both, of a moisturizer or a lubricant.
Okay. As
As a lubricant, because it does get absorbed into the skin, you might have to reapply depending on how long you're being active at that. But it can, I have patients who have definitely kind of keep it in their bathroom and put a little bit on after the shower and to use it as a moisturizer as well.
Well, I would imagine some women, again, whether it's you're embarrassed or whatever by it, but others might think, I don't want to be doing something wrong and putting something down there I shouldn't be putting down there.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. But it's also that you don't necessarily have to go out and buy something really special.
Right.
And that, so many women find using coconut oil very helpful. And if it weirds you out to grab something from your kitchen to use down there, just go grab a little Tupperware container, your own
make sure you
bottle,
don't
and
put it back in the
just,
kitchen.
just have that one be your special bedroom and bathroom one, and then there's your kitchen one. You know, it works. So,
Char, I'm glad she said she's going to be at the webinar. Fantastic. Okay, and then number 5, how does pelvic physical therapy fit into menopause wellness?
So we talked about how the tissues can get dry, frail. Because of that, we can potentially start having pain or leakage or more pressure in the area. And what pelvic physical therapy can do is to help identify what are some of the problem areas and then help build that tissue back up. And that, so even if we're using hormone replacement or using moisturizers, that kind of stuff, sometimes the muscles have responded and are holding in a tight, tense position, or they're weaker than they need to be, and they need to be developed more to be able to do their job. And so that's where partnering, having a pelvic physical therapist being part of the team can help you overall make sure that your pelvic health is doing well. So like you said, it was really beneficial to get on hormone replacement therapy that really helped to fluff up the tissues and help with the pain issues. And we just want to make sure that the muscles are doing what they should be doing as well, too.
And again, so you work on bladder control. I want to stress this because you might be saying, okay, well, what is pelvic physical therapy? You know, what can she do for us? Bladder control, bowel function, core support, pain, posture, intimacy issues. There's a lot of things.
Yes. So anything, we kind of joke, it's like anything that happens in this area of the body, we can kind of help out with. And when you said bowel, and a lot of people are surprised on the bowel side of it, but the pelvic floor muscles go all the way from the front of our pelvis to the back of our pelvis. So we work with a lot of people who are dealing with anything from they don't feel like they can hold their gas back anymore. Like it just is coming out whenever they don't want it to. And that to people who are dealing with potentially a little bit of smearing on their underwear, and they're like, I have to wipe and wipe and wipe, and I never feel clean anymore.
So that also is what you're. Okay, I am glad we brought that up today because I actually have. She's gonna get mad at me, but I have a reel I put together from my mom, and we were at the house, and I tease her because that is exactly what happened with my grandma. Where I'm like, oh, grandma, she gets up from the couch, and it's like, all right, and then my mom's like, Monica, and I said, she goes, you just wait, it's coming your way. But see, maybe not, and I think about that because I think there's a lot of women, if I think of aunts and grandma and mom in our family, that it just seems, and like I said, there was a family member that reached out to me from when you were on last time, and I thought about it and thought, does every woman in my family deal with this?
I mean, there is a genetic component to it of like, what are your tissues like? And so, yes, what your grandma went through, what your mom went through, what aunts went through can be a precursor for what you might be going through, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Right. Instead, no, Brooke, I'm not going to do that.
But if you know that, my mom had to have, a hysterectomy, or my aunt and grandma had prolapse repair surgeries. My sister had to have a bladder sling. If you know that history and you're currently not having any issues, that's wonderful.
Yes.
But your genetic makeup of your tissue is putting you into a risk factor category. So you should potentially go partner up with a pelvic physical therapist to make sure everything is working well.
That was my next
question. So that
question.
it doesn't become problematic.
So, because I have none of those issues right now, but should I be coming to you to say, okay, I do know aunts, my mom, my grandma, women in my family, so then that would be, like a lot of people like to take a proactive approach.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, so being proactive, we highly recommend, like, just to make it easy, when a woman's going through like a major life change is a great time to potentially partner up with a pelvic physical therapist. So if you've just had a baby, if you've just had surgery, if you go through menopause, like any of those big transitions like that would be a time where it would be appropriate to make a pelvic physical therapy appointment to assess and just feel like, okay, cool, everything's doing well, or ooh, we caught something.
Yes.
It's not problematic yet. It's not giving you symptoms yet.
But yet is the word.
But it could be. But if you work on this stuff, you can keep it from being problematic.
I love it. I'm so glad we brought up the very final one, and then we're going to give you where you can sign up for the webinar, how you can make the appointments. Again, be proactive like I'm thinking that we should be. What is the Menopause Strong webinar? How can people join? Here you go. It's free, folks. Why would we not do this? Free community webinar. It's Thursday, October 16th, 7 p.m., an hour, and then open to questions. I mean, again, just like a lot of you are bringing great questions, bring those to the table and let them talk more in depth. You can join from home, or if you're at the office and you want to join before you head home from that. How many people are you hoping?
Currently, we already have about 35 people signed up for it. Good. So we're hoping it's a big group, and because we'd love to get the discussion going amongst people and that. So, yeah.
Well, and again, the woman that she's teaming up with, she's brilliant. You've seen her on the show before, hopefully. Jennifer McDaniel. She's a registered dietitian. She is phenomenal in her field. Extremely passionate. Those two women right there on the screen, extremely passionate for you. So sign up, and if you, as she mentioned at the very beginning of the show, if you cannot be there live, then let them know and they can give you the link to it. Because again, they're putting this out there for you. She's co-presenting again with registered dietitian Jennifer McDaniel. Before we wrap up, let me make sure that you are all heard. Rose said all the women in my family have their bladder fixed. I don't want surgery.
Yep. Then you're very appropriate to partner up with a pelvic physical therapist. It's a very common reason why we see people in our office, because they're trying to avoid having to have some type of a pelvic surgery.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see. I thought extra virgin would help us older gals.
Nice.
Like fixing up a salad for the bedroom.
All right. We went there.
All right. right. Dr. Kalisiak, once again. So 2 locations. Please, just like last time, do not sit and wait when you're having issues right now, or as we just mentioned, to be proactive and say, hey, I don't want these things coming my way because there are women around me that are in my family that are already dealing with that. So 2 locations, Valley Park and St. Peter's. Valley Park is 636-225-3649. That's for both, right?
for both.
Locations.
Yep.
LegacyTherapySTL.com is the website. You can email Brooke, by the way. Brooke, put an E on the end. Brooke at LegacyTherapySTL.com, and on social at Legacy Physical Therapy STL. I knew that you and I would be great together. I just really, truly, I love brilliant people. I love strong, brilliant women as well. Love it. These have been some phenomenal shows. Please, again, she's here for you. Make your appointment. I'm excited, by the way, for true testimonials. For those of you that have been already, let me know. You can shoot me a private email if you want, or it's really great to share on these shows so other people can say, oh, you went in and your life changed. Like this, right? So fill the blank in. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. It was very fun.
Again, Dr. Brooke Kalisiak. We do have, before we wrap up, Angie Hess. So we check in with Angie every Wednesday for our Wellness Wednesdays. She's with Spas and More. And as we are now into October, the weather is colder, and a lot of people, obviously, like we did, had to close the pools down. But for those of you that have a swim spa, how can you still utilize that in the colder months? Well, you can get your activity. And I know one of you wanted to know what you could do in the pool. If you have a swim spa, if you've got those hot tubs, you do a little contrast therapy, all those things to take care of yourself. Let's find out about that. Angie Hess joining us from Spas and More when we return. By the end of this, I want 100% raising your hands. I'm here to empower you because you all have intrinsic value. I don't care if someone has told you that you don't. Today, we are here to make you believe in yourself.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Bonacorsi, and I'm the president and founder of J Bloom. And I chose Monica Adams to be our keynote speaker because of the positivity that she illuminates whenever she speaks. She's an amazing influence and has so much impact on these women that they are going to leave changed.
It's a constant education. Never stop being the leader. If you are given the opportunity to be, and I hate the word boss, by the way, don't we like leader more? Have you all seen that image of a boss shouting behind their team and then the leader out in the trenches? And I know there's a lot of people that are thrown into your paths, and there are people who try to squash your dreams. It could be your partner, it could be your parents, your children, a boss that you've had, but you cannot, from this day forward, I'm going to ask you to not give them power any longer. So we think it, we write it, we hear it. Think right here. Make connections today. Then pave that way. You now have the awareness. So how do you pave that path?
Your message, like at the end, you can be anything, but before that, be kind.
Yep.
My husband's a pastor, and that every one of his sermons, that's always within it. That be kind.
Yep.
You have to be kind.
It is.
Oh, you're fine.
Look at this. So there's an employee out there who still thinks of you because you were kind to them. Never stop being that leader. By the way, I want to be remembered for this phrase when I'm no longer on this earth. The greatest rewards in life come from the most uncomfortable walk. God meant for me to talk to you. Oh, it's okay. You, honey, have a lot of value. And someone's told you that you don't. And I was meant to be in your life today. I've always said, I have chills. Do we all have chills? God, I say, if you can have me change one person's life, then I have done your job. I'm hoping it's all of you. But see, she's not okay for whatever reason. I don't know your story, but I'm going to tell you they're wrong. And all these women believe in you.
To hire Monica Adams for your next event, email info@therealmonicaadams.com.
Welcome back. We told you a very busy weekend starting again on Friday at Conjetta Designs at noon. Defiance Ridge Vineyards, a live show at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Then on Sunday, I'm so excited to volunteer as we raise money for our true heroes. Responder Rescue will be benefiting by the big event on Sunday, noon to 5, right here at Trattoria Giuseppe, located in Antonia, Missouri on Old Highway 21. Some of the most fabulous Italian food you've ever had in your life. And for a lot of people, it's a hidden gem. Not for us. We are there on a regular basis. They've got incredible steaks. They've got incredible pasta. He's going to have a buffet, an all-you-can-eat buffet. It's $30. And then I forget what the age of it is, but kids under a certain age are free. Bring the kiddos out. Let's support Trattoria Giuseppe. And again, a huge portion of those proceeds will go to Responder Rescue, which if you're not familiar with them, they are the ones that step in not only when a firefighter, a police officer, a paramedic, etc., is killed in the line of duty, but when they are injured and can never return to their job. So a lot of people know about Backstoppers, but if you don't know about Responder Rescue, it is truly one of my favorite organizations. So Jim and I will be serving you some incredible pasta this coming Sunday. Again, we'll see you there at noon. All right, welcome back to the show. We mentioned we've got Angie Hess, Angie with Spas and More. We check in with her each Wednesday on different aspects of the wellness world. We're following her own journey. How's your journey going, by the way? Welcome back, Angie.
Oh, it's doing pretty good. Body is not too happy with the weather change, but that's okay.
So you've talked, for those people who have not had a chance to meet you, so tell them about your journey and the things that you go through, because a lot of them might go through the same things.
I have fibromyalgia along with mixed connective tissue disorder, which is why it does not like the weather right now. So I deal with a lot of chronic pain all the time, and has gone through the whole realm of medicines and everything. So it wasn't until earlier this year that I started working with a coach, adjusting my nutrition and different things, that things started to improve, and I started losing weight, and I'm down about 100 pounds
Yay!
From my heaviest weight. So
congrats.
Now working in exercise slowly and trying to listen to when my body tells me it doesn't like what it's doing. But that's why I'm blessed to be in the industry that I am, because I sell a lot of other products that I can use outside of the gym for fitness and wellness.
And Angie, our lives change by what we surround ourselves with, right? So you're in a wonderful industry. She's in the wellness industry. Spas and More, by the way, they're located in the Sunset Hills area. Follow them on social media right there at Spas and More STL, or the website spasandmorestl.com, or right there off of Old Gravois. And your father's the one that actually started this.
Yes, he did. He started it back in 2006, but he has actually been selling Master Spa products since 1996. So Master Spa is getting ready to turn 30, and Spas and More is getting ready to turn 20.
And there they are, by the way, on the screen for you. So we were talking about pools being closed down. Obviously, we're transitioning from summer to fall now, and we can feel it. We're going to get down into the 40s tonight, by the way. So how can we keep our wellness going when we are into these colder months? Swim spas?
Swim spas are a key for being able to keep that same type of water swimming, water aerobics, because you can do them year round. The benefit of having a swim spa is they will go up to 104 degrees if you really want them to, but they still maintain temperature year round to where you can be out there in the 45 degree and the 30 degree weather, still getting your exercise, still swimming, and still, trying to maintain, your healthy exercise and balance in life. Another thing that it's really wonderful for when you're in a swim spa during the colder months is it helps with seasonal depression, because one of the things that we crave when we are, in those winter months is being outside in the sunlight, being able to go out and work out in your swim spa in a nice warm environment. But if you do get that fresh air and you're out in the sun, if it is one of those nice sunny days but you can still get out and get moving and not have to put on the 15 layers of clothing to try to take a walk down the street.
Right, that's never fun. So for those that have never heard of a swim spa, right? So we've been looking at some pictures of some hot tubs and some videos of hot tubs, but from a swim spa itself, they might be new to a lot of people. So explain to them what a swim spa is.
So a swim spa is a self-contained body of water that has jet pumps on it or a propulsion, depending on which model you get. But you're essentially swimming or exercising against resistance. It's kind of like an aquatic treadmill or an aquatic Bowflex, as people might say, because you're doing everything in resistance in water without the added weight and stress on your body. A lot of people don't realize that when you're doing stuff at the gym, like or walking just down the street to take your like evening walk, every time you're stepping foot, you're putting 100% of your body weight on all of your joints. And that's what causes rapid degeneration in our joints. But doing water exercise and water therapy, you're actually eliminating that pressure on all of your joints to 2 pounds versus your entire body weight. So it gives you more mobility. It saves the aches and the pains, especially if you have arthritis and other ailments like that.
And again, a lot of you here, as we're looking at how good water therapy can be for us. So for those of you that are like, I can't get into a gym or it pains me, right? You talked about fibromyalgia. I remember training a client many, many years ago. She had doctors that told her, no, you shouldn't lift weights, right? It's going to be. Now, we did work through that, but I incorporated for that particular woman doing water therapy as well. So it really is, and your body will change. So I know you incorporate these things for yourself. Yes. You're a true testimonial. What do you see different when you are moving in water?
Just the simple fact that I don't have, it feels like sometimes when you're a heavy person, every time you take a step, you get a vibration through your entire body, and you can just feel it in like every muscle and joint because you're getting all of that pressure just walking, just not even walking to exercise, just walking. But when you're in the water, that is, you actually for once have the pain just kind of lifted off of you. At least in my sense, you don't get that vibration that you're constantly feel going through coursing through your entire body every time you step. And then you actually get that motivation to do more in the water because you don't feel the pain as much, and it's helping you actually increase your mobility because you're able to stretch and everything, because as the water, especially like in a swim spa when it's heated, you're also getting that to help reduce your inflammation and kind of making you a little bit more mobile in your joints and your muscles.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I have a client that is so frustrated right now. She hasn't trained with me for the last few months. She got really scared. First, she thought something was going on with her heart, and she's like, Monica, I really thought I was going to die. Went in to a cardiologist, found out everything was fine, but then ended up looking at markers for the possibility of lupus. She's like, I don't want to have lupus. And she, in the past, they were told that maybe she had fibromyalgia, but it's definitely inflammation. So she probably will watch this. You've been there. You get it. You empathize with her.
I do. One of my markers for my mixed connective tissue disorder is systemic lupus, so I do understand just because how that can affect the body is not full-blown, but I do get the symptoms or like the rashes or the things that come with lupus. So, a lot of the products that we've talked about our hot tub before, the Twilight series being actually designed for the owner's daughter who has lupus. So it's talking about those, working those muscles, those trigger points that, cause the flares. You get the same benefit in the swim spa because at the end of the swim spa, on the non-swim end, you actually have those therapy seats that are just like the ones in our Twilight hot tub. So they're hitting those trigger points. They're helping with that muscle and joint relaxing them, helping reduce that inflammation. Still has the biomagnetic therapy in the neck and shoulder seat, just like the hot tub. So you're still getting 100% full therapy benefits, but you're also getting the option to exercise.
So again, and for those of you that maybe didn't hear Angie talk about that in the past, if you are just tuning in, this is Angie Hess, again, owner here at Spas and More. If you're outside of the St. Louis area, the master spas are all over the place. So find a dealer that would work for you outside of here, or come in. Come into St. Louis, maybe have it shipped to you. So there are many ways of, kind of like what we talked about with Dr. Kalisiak, is not living in the life that you're in and thinking that this is just the way the life is going to be. It's making these changes. Again, doing the therapy can you tell them why the Twilight series works for those that have lupus?
So the Twilight series has a lot of bigger jets versus the smaller pinpoint jets, which a lot of hot tubs have. And those jets are configured in certain ways to not only spread their massaging benefit across the body, but also each individual seat is adjusted to hit certain muscle groups and trigger points where you get tightness and inflammation in. It also has the neck and shoulder seat, which goes across the entire span of the back of the neck to help with like tension in the shoulders where women carry all of that. It has the Master Blaster foot jets, which has 14 nozzles per jet face to be able to help with foot pain, foot pain and neuropathy, different things like that. I forgot the word I was going to say.
The Twilight series, is that the one that I like?
Yes, that's the one that you like.
So, Zach, I'm going to try to do this without me directing this morning. It's the one that the roof lips up. I've got a video that I took of it. Yes, that's it.
Yep.
So, if someone is dealing with any type of inflammation, this would be the best one for them?
It would be the best in our opinion with everything that we do. Everybody will tell you hot water is therapy, which it absolutely is, but the type of jet in the tub makes a difference too, because if you are having pain already, you don't want something that's sending like almost a pencil size burst of water into your skin versus something that's actually going to be open and massage.
Okay, so again, the Twilight series. And if you all are tuning in and you haven't been into Spas and More yet, I would highly recommend that you go. We'll give you the address again, but there are so many ways of helping the body. So if you are someone that has fibromyalgia, maybe you have lupus, you have some type of an autoimmune disorder, you've got inflammation, and you think there's nothing that can be done, right? That this is the sentence that you've been given in life, and you're like, oh, I'm just going to have to deal with this. It's not the case. I mean, literally, Angie's right here, living proof. You're looking at the exercises that you can do, the relaxation aspect. Again, we talk about the GOAT. You're seeing Michael Phelps. He's a big part of teaming up with Master Spas. So find out more about how they can help you. Spas and More. Let's give you that address one more time. Spas and More STL. Again, this is at Spas and More STL on social media. You can go to the website, spasandmorestl.com. Check them out. Your hours are?
Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay, so go in, check them out. You were just coming off of a big month with like going to different conventions, etc., and giving back. You want to talk about that?
Yes, so we've had the Summer of St. Jude with Master Spas where we have for every hot tub or swim spa, we've made a donation as a dealership to the St. Jude Foundation along with other Master Spa dealers. So that's what we have done this entire summer. Also, we focus on working with the Kauffman Fund through our shows at our St. Charles Convention Center. So we've been able to help out a lot of veterans in need with that program. And we are also sponsoring their casino night fundraiser, which is coming up Friday night.
I love it. Again, and you've given a lot of money to St. Jude.
We have, yes.
Congrats. And again, just keep giving back. So some people had asked in the last time you were on, are there any specials as people think of, again, this is quite a gift, but some people might do that as we get ready to think of unique gifts to give around Christmas time. Do you have anything from now through the end of the year?
So we still have a couple shows between here and our Overland Park store, but we always have discounts, rebates year-round. We have military discounts and first responder discounts. So we will be seeing a lot of sales through the end of the year. We are booking into the end of November to December for delivery. So now is perfect to get one just in time for Christmas.
Wink, wink, Jim, and you get a first responder discount.
Right.
See how we're nudging together? We're back from Mexico now, and I need this. Angie, my friend, thank you. Angie Hess, again, owner of Spas and More. Again, follow them on social media, and just think about this. Again, for yourself, we have to keep breaking the stigma of the luxury aspect, and I hope we're doing that. Every time we talk with Angie, it really is, for me, it's all about a whole component of wellness. I'm all about wellness for the mind, the body, the spirit. Again, putting it all together for you. All right, we're going to take our final break. Thank you. We take our final break. We are going into our 100 Days to Freedom books. I'm going to let you pick a color, Angie. What color are you feeling? Instead of telling you what they are, I'm just going to tell you pick a color.
How about purple?
Purple. Fear and anxiety. 100 Days to Freedom from fear and anxiety. And then we'll tell you one more time what's on tap in the next couple of days and into the weekend. So don't go anywhere. Well, we were talking about a busy weekend, but let me also forward promote what's coming up in November. You've heard us talk about the Yuppie Puppy Gala for Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. We are super excited to be a part of that. I am emceeing and doing the auctioneer for you again. We are also one of the big sponsors of Yuppie Puppies Gala. So if you would like to do a sponsorship, some of those are still available. I know the one that we did, the $500 level, all of those have been taken up. And can I say thank you to our dear friend Dot Fleshman, who is our real estate extraordinaire. She is going to be on with me this Friday for our Friendship Friday talk. She also got one of the soulful sponsors, but there are other sponsorships or tables that are available and individual tickets are available. So scan that QR code. We would love to see you in November at Whitmore Country Club for the big gala to raise money for the wonderful work that they do, again, with Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. By the way, you can find out all of this information on our website, therealmonicaadams.com. I just updated everywhere we're going to be this weekend. Again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, an opportunity for you to come out and see us. Friday in Lafayette Square at Conjetta Designs, that live show I want you to watch at noon. Saturday, I want to see you at Defiance Ridge Vineyards. Let's pack the place on a gorgeous Saturday. We're going to be there from 11 to noon. Sunday, serving from noon to 5 at Trattoria Giuseppe in Imperial. It's going to be a busy one for sure. On tap for you again this Friday, Friendship Friday. Can't wait to be visiting with Dot Fleshman. I do want to let you know that if there is a guest you would like to see on a future show, shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com. Pitch those ideas to me, whoever it might be. If they are joyful, inspiration, hope, positivity, we want to bring them on the show. So reach out to me. And if you want to be a part of the show, by the way, and you want our show to be brought to your business, your festival, you can shoot an email to me as well. Mobile Monica, we are going to be talking about 750 shows, a huge celebration right between Thanksgiving and Christmas is when we'll celebrate with you. So where would you like for that to be? We're going to do a ticketed event, bands, some of your past favorite guests. We'll do huge giveaways. It's going to be a blast. And we're going to celebrate together 750 shows in less than 3 years. We are super, super proud of that. All right, relief. Day 85. We are 15 days from giving you complete freedom from fear and anxiety. These are, by the way, from Stephen Arterburn. Strengthen those who have tired hands and encourage those who have weak knees. Say to those with fearful hearts, be strong and do not fear, for your God is coming to destroy your enemies. He is coming to save you. That's Isaiah 35, verses 3 and 4. So if you've been dealing with anxiety or fear for any length of time, you're looking for relief, right? It drains your energy to have tensions and concerns as the operating system for your life. Negative suspicions that nothing is going to get better. That spins all kinds of questions in your mind. Tires you out, doesn't it? Which in turn creates more anxiety. Wouldn't it be great to have some relief? To rest from carrying what seems like the stress of all the world. Relief is possible, but it will take some getting used to. When you begin to slow down, you will feel the space that peace provides. And if you've been in a cycle of anxious thoughts for any length of time, you may be tempted to pick up where you left off. It kept you occupied. You may not know what to do with the peace you will experience. You'll need a new routine. When you begin to experience relief, lean into God's plan, trusting that anything you are worried about has already been dealt with in His timing and in His plan. You will discover a new way of life. Courage will replace the fear as you move forward. Barbara Johnson said, patience is the ability to idle your motor when you feel like stripping your gears. I like that. No matter what I feel, and I can hold the assurance that God never leaves me. That's from Craig Groeschel. And then Henry Cloud and John Townsend say, make friends with your needs. Welcome them. They are a gift from God designed to draw you into relationship with Him and with His safe people. Your needs are the cure to the sin of self-sufficiency. So here's your prayer, folks. Lord Jesus, I am in need of relief today. Help me lean on your strength and wisdom for my life. Help me as I find the rhythm of peace in my life. Amen to that. All right, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. A great Wellness Wednesday. Nice to be in studio. Thank you to Zach Kimball, and Gabriel Bell for all of the help behind the scenes today. We have on tap for you tomorrow I believe we should be back with Jessica Cook with Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. I'll check in with her on that, make sure that we're doing this coming Thursday. So look for my social media pages also later today. Once the announcement comes out, and we'll tag Dolly Parton in this, we're wishing you all the best. Our prayers and our thoughts going out to you. Again, not knowing what she's going through. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the beginning of the show. She will be posting on social media so that you hear it straight from her. What is it that her sister was asking for prayers about? I'm very intrigued by this. We'll do a follow-up on tomorrow morning's show as well. And then we'll see you on Friday as well. A lot of things going on Friday. Foodie Friday, as we feature Bistro La Florisan, as well as Matt's St. Louis Food Story, a great book that you might want to have in your own repertoire. We'll have Dot Fleshman on with Real Estate and Friendship Friday, and then that Conjetta Designs show at noon. So a very busy Friday on tap for sure. All right, everybody, go out, enjoy the day. Have a beautiful one, and remember, whoever you come in contact with, be kind. God bless you all.